Okay, we're ready to smoke it up.
Action!
Josh is an engineer who's recruited by his company to visit Russia and assess this nuclear power plant for the possibilities of extending and developing it.
I need you on a plane tonight.
What? You serious?
You designed and engineered the retrofitting, Josh. There's no one more qualified than you.
Once there, he encounters his ex-wife, now living in this part of the world.
How was your trip? Comfortable, I assume, if Global Energy was footing the bill.
Changed the first class ticket for some extra miles.
Smart man.
And it's classic old age, biblical stuff, story of someone who, through this process of overcoming adversity, seeks salvation in a way and recovers his wife and family.
Rach? What happened to your wedding ring?
Didn't need it anymore, so I got rid of it.
When I read the script, I was very excited by it. I thought it was a wonderful page turner. And I just thought that Rachel, my character, was somebody I would like to know. I thought she was very strong.
Subway goes overground at the old reservoir.
It's the last stop on the main line.
And we're 10 kilometers down that line. They open the reservoir floodgates. The water will be here in what, 5 minutes?
6 at the most.
Use the main subway line as a direct pipeline to the plant.
The water will flood the coolant basin. It's brilliant.
When the earthquake first hits the plant, Rachel, my character, is desperate to save everybody. And she has to close the plant down. But she encounters all sorts of debris and falling wires and falling staircases. I'm running away from an earthquake in a nuclear plant, which was very scary to do.
I need you to stay there. Stay safe. Take care of your sister. She's your responsibility no matter what she says.
I liked the difference between doing all the action stuff and then doing very quiet, intense family scenes.
I don't want to have to keep walking to school with Sherry.
It's not Sherry, asshole. It's Raven.
First off, it's Sherry. I named you. Secondly, we don't use language like that in this house.
Well.
Help me out here. She looks like the living dead.
Let me get a bike and I'll back you all the way.
Nice try, but no. It was just nice just to stop and calm down for a while, you know. It was just a nice combination.
My mum says there's a big trouble with the earthquake because she works in a nuclear power plant. Find out my sister has actually left the school and tried to find my mum and dad. And I go off in search of her.
My sister, she's stuck in the subway. You gotta let me in.
And this is my stunt double rider. This is his actual bike. And with me not riding and stuff, he did all my stunt doubles, and he's an incredible rider. Yeah, he's looked after me well, and he's tried to teach me how to ride, but I'm miserable.
I play Emilio, who's the plant sort of manager, and he's obviously been corrupt and crooked because he sort of cut costs, corners to safety.
I thought after Chernobyl, plants weren't being built so close to populated areas.
Please, that was a tragic accident. But Russian engineers make sure they learn from mistakes. and use knowledge to build bigger and better plants.
You forgot safer.
I based my character on the immigration guy in Kiev, who was Mr. Grumpy. And he has this certain, how should I say, Eastern European look, which means, I know you're earning more money than I am, but I don't care.
Action. The core will melt down in less than an hour. I suggest you get in your car and drive. And then, maybe you stand a chance.
I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize. We're all trying our best in a bad situation.
No, I'm not sorry about that.
What are you sorry about?
This.
You look like a bloody mess there.
The special effects in the control room when everything blew up, collapsed, looked very realistic. And a huge great beam falls down into the room, smoke and stuff everywhere, huge flames and smoke. That was great.
I tried to figure out what an engineer would do, like, I don't know anybody that does nuclear power, but just engineering in general, what their routine would be. They're into computers, they're into technical drawings, they have to be very exact. So I imagine it would be somebody that is very good with numbers. Sometimes it seems he's slow, but he's trying to think ahead and, you know, forgetting other things that for normal people would be important, but for him it's just, I gotta get my numbers right. After the second big earthquake hits, he hears the noise and he runs out of the safety core area and he sees the steam coming out of a pipe. So I run towards it, I grab it to shut it off because it's pressure that's going into the core. So to save the core, I'm trying to turn it and it breaks and hot water steam is burning my face and I'm losing my eyesight. That was my favorite one just because it felt real. I'm running away from something that isn't there, which is the earth, you know, opening up. So you got to do all the work. There's nobody, there's no partners, there's no props. You are not on a location. But it's fun after a while because you get to, you know, you just got to be nuts. 3 days before that night shoot, it started snowing like crazy. And, you know, actually there was some ice and you had to get the coats out again. So, of course, that night it started snowing and raining and it was freezing cold and we're in, you know, we're in a forest, so the earth became all muddy and wet.
And then got out to the location, it's thick mud. So there I'm thinking, oh, God. And action, and I lost my shoe.
He kept losing his shoes in the mud. There was a lot of pulling each other out and getting over the lines at the same time.
I didn't really have to do much research because as a kid I was, I thought I was going to be a nuclear physicist. That was my goal. So I actually had a little information about the kind of character I'm playing now.
Gotta get these power surges under control.
We're running on the emergency power generator, no regular current. The circuit boards are, say, fried. Probably the scenes that are the most difficult to do are the ones that require the most imagination. So again, where the components that make up the fiction are generated from my imagination, so green screen stuff, the CGI stuff that gets added after we shoot, those are generally the toughest scenes to do. I believe that it's not my job to persuade the audience of the illusion that we're attempting to create in our fiction. I believe my job is to persuade myself.
Rachel had them installed when she took over! The retrofitting project! Plan for the best, expect the worst.
Myself and Josh and one of the other characters, Leon, gets trapped in an elevator shaft. The elevator is stuck.
Nothing's ever that easy, is it?
All right, we're gonna climb.
So we're climbing to try and find our way out.
Halfway up, we noticed that the ladder, the emergency ladder, is gone.
So we have to actually climb across the bottom of the elevator car to get to the other side, hoping that we will find some exit.
And then that's where Leon clings onto the elevator and dies.
Mikhail actually comes from quite a sad background. He lives with his mother just on the border of Russia, and he grows shrimps, has been growing shrimps ever since he was a child. So he only has his passion for shrimps to share with Rachel once he feels he might be in a position to get close to her. But this doesn't really seem to work. This is all in my mind, of course, as an actor and as a character.
There were lots of shrimps on this set. Difficult to explain that one.
It's the steam that makes his glasses go away, and then allow the pain to be the thing.
Well, I scream. That's when the glasses go.
Yeah, you go. And then pull back. Try that as opposed to just jumping back.
He's done horror, he's done sci-fi, now he's doing a disaster film.
I loved working with Tibor. He's just been very inspirational. He's a wonderful craftsman and technician as well as being a superb director.
This is the fourth picture I'm doing with Tibor, and so any opportunity I have to do something with him is always a creative experience that gives me great pleasure.
I think you just need steam, like there to be ambient kind of thing, just maybe from below, like as if there's a pipe here leaking.
I think he does an amazing job, and I think this film is going to be just beyond anyone's expectations, and I think he put a great bunch of people together.
I was quite amazed at how Tibor's managed to, make some of the shots really quite incredible.
It's going to have a special look, and it's going to be something that there's little gags in there that maybe you have to watch it twice before you get them.
Cheers, Brad. It's been good. Thank you.
This movie's chock full of a big pile of fright and fears.
The audience should expect lots of powerful action and special effects.
It's got a lot of heart, and it's got a very epic feel to it.
It starts with an earthquake, and it just gets more and more after that. And there's pipes exploding, there's water, there's electricity, there's a subway crashing, there's motorcycle, stairways falling apart, elevator shafts crashing down. I don't think there's a second of relaxing in this movie.
I think we'll fill that screen.